Welcome to today's video, which is sponsored by EA. Massive shout out to them. I'm your host, Judo Sloth, and today we are playing a brand new mobile game, Command & Conquer Rivals. Hands up if you were addicted to Command & Conquer for the PC. It's now out on mobile, guys. It has been released globally, and if you sign up before December the 10th, you will get a special early bird bundle. Now, it's exactly what it was like on the PC. We're going to be playing through the tutorial today, and what I mean by the same as on the PC, it's all strategy based. This is real-time strategy. The controls of it are very intuitive, it's very responsive as well, and we're going to talk you through it today, show you gameplay, and you will see more of it on my channel. So again, the gameplay is real-time strategy. So flying into the tutorial here, we're starting off with just the one pad in the middle. You will see as we move through this how it basically expands. So you need to take control of the missile in the center. You can see the enemy base over on the right hand side of the screen, pretty much above my head. That's what we're trying to take out. I'm still at full health. Again, this is just the tutorial. It's a 1v1. There's so much competition within this. Again, the link to download it's in the description. There's a lot more information if you want to get involved with the competitive scene, learn more about it. It's all down there as well. There's many different play styles here. You can see how I'm trying to sneak one of my troops around the back as well. But the idea is that you have to control the missile launcher. Now again, as we move through this, we will expand it. But initially for the tutorial, it's just teaching us that that's the premise of it, trying to control the launcher. And as you can see, for this very first one, boom, we are victorious. So, my playstyle is probably a bit more aggressive. I will probably be playing quite heavy into these, but people can have different play styles. You might play a little bit more of the late game. As you'll see in this next one, the missile launcher, as long as anyone is in control of it, will basically be ticking up. And you can basically wait until the last second to make a heavy push, take them out, take control of that missile launcher, and take out the enemy team. So there's a lot of different units as well. You might decide to come in quite heavy, kind of farming up your resources originally with the harvester, and then really make that strong push at the end. Now, I have just unlocked from the chest a couple of credits, and we're going to quickly discuss how we upgrade our units. There's 40 plus units in this. There's two different factors. There's the GDI and the NOD, as you could see there, and there's 40 different units, and they are basically of different types as well. So you can see here the Rifleman is the ground, and we're going to upgrade him. Now, the good thing about this is it's kind of a two upgrade system. So you can see right now we've spent some coins. We have trained the Rifleman, and we did get a little bit of a reward from that. Once we've done this second battle, we will show you exactly how the upgrade of it works as well. So if you want to get better at the game as well, there is a network where you can watch replays in various languages, you can learn new strategies, and basically expand on your own play style. There's a fair play system in place as well, guys, so that is going to enable matchmaking based upon your own skills. And again, there's a lot of links in the description. If you want to learn more about competitive play with this, then be sure to check them out. So here we go into the second tutorial of it, and as you can see, there's now 3 platforms, so it's kind of getting more to what the game is going to look like. And in the final one, we really do start to bring other things in. So we have our own army. We need to construct a building in order to train them. So that's going to be the barracks in essence. We're going to then be able to train our infantry, and that's what's going to take control of the pods, the launch missile, and hopefully take out the enemy player. So there's 3 missile pods on this one. 3 missile platforms, and in essence you need to have more than your enemy. And you can kind of see there that all of the different tiles, you can move your troops to any one of them tiles. So that's where the strategy of it kind of comes in. Every unit basically has a type. So you have your infantry, your vehicles, and your aircraft, and every single one of them has a strength versus something else. So what you need to try and do as you get further into it, and the strategy involved, is keep an eye on them pods, keep an eye on the timers, but also make sure that you're using the troops that are necessary to take out the enemies, and that's where the real-time strategy kind of comes in. You'll see that, again, you can't just continually spam troops. You have to wait until you've farmed enough resources to build some more. So what we're going to do here is have a little bit of a look as to what is strong against what. So you can see that the missile squad, they are going to be strong against vehicles. My riflemen, they don't really do anything. They are only strong against other riflemen, but that's important because it's a troop that is very quick to make. You can very easily get troops onto the map, onto the platform, to try and basically take control of that, but also get on over to the enemy team and distract them. That might be part of what you do. So we have control of the first platform. We're making a push to get forward and take the second platform, and again, this is where the different play styles come in. So it is just the tutorial, but you'll see that what I try and do is make a push heavily into the enemy area so I can keep on top of it. Now, that might backfire in some cases because I'm basically pushing into their area, but if you're keeping an eye on this stuff, you can see what units are strong against what. So you'll see this in a second. When the rifleman is selected, the other riflemen have a green marker around it. And with the missile squad, the vehicles clearly are going to have that green marker. You can see that clear as day, guys. As you select your unit, you can then see what they are strong against, and you want to try and constantly take control of that. But just note that the enemy is doing exactly the same. So I'm going to constantly try and keep reinforcing my troops. Again, at this moment, I am trying to get quite a few of the missile squads in because they are seemingly bringing through quite a few vehicles. They now have missile squads themselves, so if I don't make vehicles, that means that they aren't going to be as strong against me, if that makes sense. However, we're going to put one in. We have a good amount of troops in there. We have the riflemen, we have the missile squad. Let's get a vehicle in there as well to try and tank a little bit and protect our other troops. So notice how I put the vehicle right up there at the front. It then means my riflemen behind have a little bit more time and I can continually keep reinforcing this. Now look at how everything is so strategy based. Again, you can move your troops around. The one thing you need to try and keep an eye on here is I don't have control of the platforms actually at the moment. I have control of the one at the bottom right, but none of the others are in control. So I do need to try and get units onto them platforms. You can see the one just to the left of me, again the bottom right, is blue. That is because I'm in control of it, but I need some troops on the other ones in order to get the missile launcher timer going, and then that is how I'm going to take out the enemy. So as you can see, I'm going to try and get that on there, and now I have two sets of troops. I am going to continually try and take the others down. They're making a push for my far platform because it's open, so I'm going to try and retreat a little bit and take them out. And as you can see, we almost had the timer, but then the other team have taken control of the platform at the bottom, so all I'm going to do is send my riflemen straight into the platform at the bottom left, and boom, takes the victory. So that is hopefully giving you a little bit more in terms of how this actually goes. There's one other tutorial gameplay that I'm going to bring you in this one, and then basically we'll show you how the upgrade system works, give you a bit of a head start here into Command and Conquer. So hopefully at the end of this video, yes, you can play through this yourself, but I will hopefully be giving you a little bit of tips and tricks on how to get started with this game for all of you beginners, bit of a beginner guide or beginner tutorial. And as you can see, as you are going through, you will be unlocking chests, you will be getting more of these upgrade cards, if you will, and let's go ahead and show you the other side of the upgrade now. So I've earned enough cards to level up the rifleman. As you remember, I was kind of leveling him up before. However, there's a difference in terms of the training. So yes, you can train the troops and they get a little bit of a boost, but where it really comes in is once you have enough to level them up. So I've fully trained our Rifleman through level 1. Now that unlocks the ability, once you have enough cards, in order to level them up. And look at the boost that is given. It's obviously a massive boost in between level 1 and 2. Now I can go ahead and train the Rifleman up again. But that's not all. Obviously, you want to be trying to level up your different areas, and what you will see in a second is that you can take a number of different units onto the battlefield. So what you probably want to do, again, talking about them different strategies, the hyper aggressive, the late game, maybe you want to level up the things that are going to give you a little bit more resources and that you're going to need for that heavy push. It all depends on what you want to do. You can play the game in a number of different ways. Again, there's so many different units that really expands the strategy of it, and because it's real time when you're there on the battlefield, you have to react. It's not something that you can predict. If your enemy team comes out with all of a sudden a vehicle and you don't have any riflemen on there, sorry, if you don't have any of the bombers on there in order to take them out, then you're going to need to do that. So it's kind of adapting to what your enemy team is doing as well to try and give you the best option. But again, you can have your own game plan, and that's something I would definitely recommend. So let's get into the final match, then we'll have another couple of the chests, but from there, that is going to wrap it up for this first one, and we're going to do kind of a let's play series of Command & Conquerors. So this is going to be kind of let's play one, if you will. We're going to do a few of them because the strategy involved with this is brilliant, and again, I played it quite heavily back on the PC, and it's awesome to see it on mobile. So all of your buildings and units take Tiberium. Now what that is going to do is allow you to build the buildings, but then also allow you to train the troops. So you need to use that in order to build your barracks, in order to build your war factory. But as you can see at the bottom here, there's quite a few areas where you can farm more of that and get that quicker. So let's send a harvester down there. I'm obviously going to try and initially keep that on my side of the map, and you might want to use this as a strategy. Try and harvest a little bit more so that eventually you can, make that heavy push at the end. Or maybe you want to make that strong push at the start. You want to be really aggressive. You might learn different strategies, the not attack bikes, and really just press in there in order to take them down. The list is endless, guys. And again, there is a network, a Command & Conquer network where you can watch replays in order to try and help. But let's try and break down this last one. So the mini turret I am going to put kind of centrally at the bottom. That's going to act as a turret, but also a little bit of a defense. Now what I'm doing here is, what I thought is, why don't I try and build my troops? Now you can see kind of the shadows to the right hand side. That's what really expands the game a little bit for me, because if you don't have any troops over there in the shadows, you can't see what your enemy's doing. So I'm stacking my troops up, but as you can see, the enemy was doing exactly the same. Now we make a push. So I'm sending some riflemen around the back. You can see that white line, so you can clearly tell when you have the riflemen highlighted where you want them to go. Now when they are finished, if you select a certain enemy, when they're finished, they're just going to stand there. So you do want to try and sneak them into the control platforms. So what I should probably be doing is sending a set of riflemen down onto the left-hand platform so that I have two in control. However, again, I'm going to play quite aggressive in this game, so I wanted to press in quite heavy, try and get control, get into the enemy side of the map. I can see exactly what he's doing. He cannot see what troops I am sending in, if that makes sense, because he doesn't have any troops on my side of the map. Again, this is just kind of the tutorial, but if I'm in his area, I can see what he's doing. If he's not in my area, he can't see what I'm doing. So it's a little bit of an advantage in that sense, and it gets quite complex, guys. This is where practice is going to have to come in. The replayers on the network can really help you to truly understand what's going on, and hopefully I can try and help with that a little bit as well. So constantly trying to keep on top. You can see how that first replay we looked at is completely different to now, where there's a lot more going on, and hopefully this shows you the depth of the game, and we haven't even unlocked that many of the variety of units yet. We have very few of them. So again, the tutorial is going to keep kind of prompting me. To be honest, I think I'd literally just done that, but it is going to keep prompting me, and it's going to do exactly the same with yourself. So what we need to do is continue to select our units. You can see I have a couple of riflemen that are literally just standing there, so we're going to try and take out the enemy team, and then once we've done that, I am going to try and sneak a couple of them onto the platforms to take control. So for a short while there, I actually had two of the platforms in control, the enemy platform and the central one. And again, it's not like you can get your units over to the other side. The whole idea of it is controlling the platform so you can send that missile launch in order to do the major damage and take them down. So whilst my troops are doing quite well, I have just kind of stuck one of the riflemen over onto my platform. I'm going to send now another one into the center, try and take out the enemy team now and finish it off. I think I have more than enough control, and as you can see, I end up with all three platforms going to finish off the enemy team, and that is awesome stuff. So let's quickly show you a little bit more of the upgrading, unlock a few more stuff in terms of this first episode, then that's going to wrap it up. Again, just summarizing, EA, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. Command & Conquer, it's a brand new mobile game which is released global now, real-time strategy game made by EA's Redwood Studios, and you can get a special early bird bundle now through December the 10th. It's real-time strategy. Again, the controls are quite nice, guys, in terms of how you select your units and move them from one place to the other, and there's a ton of different playstyles. I myself are probably going to play more aggressive. You could see the advantages of that, getting into the enemy half, meaning you could see what they're doing but they can't see what you're doing, and the matchmaking does try and give you a fair play system, so it's based upon your skills within the game. As you can see, we have unlocked that, so the next episode we're going to be attacking against real players. But just before we wrap up, why don't we upgrade a few more of the troops? And now that we've completed the tutorial, you can see all of the different units within the game. Again, there's over 40 of them, and this is just at launch. So let's quickly do a few upgrades. Again, I would probably try and think about the units that you enjoy the most, and at the moment, because I'm playing quite aggressive, I am going to try and get on top of the enemy, put too many troops out there for them to deal with. So I'm actually going to keep an eye on how much the troops cost. So the riflemen, again, that's not a great deal. I can just use 10 in order to get them out, and I can try and overwhelm the enemy. So as you can see, there are kind of shops and things where you get different crates and carts. There's a common crate free daily, and you also can purchase some of the in-game currency, obviously, in order to get more out of that. Now we have 100 of the diamonds already, enough to purchase the rare crate here. So why don't we go ahead and do that, see what we get. You can see the chances of epic cards as well, which is going to be helpful. If you unlock an epic, especially early on, you are going to be golden, guys. So we get the rhino and able to upgrade that. More riflemen, I'm quite happy with that, because again, I'm going to be upgrading them heavily. The pit bull, I haven't even tried that one yet, but it is going to be good. Missile squad, definitely I am going to be upgrading them. Again, you need cards in order to take out the enemy vehicles as well, but hopefully that is giving you a nice little summary of things there. So why don't we quickly upgrade them? If you've got the coins, unless you're saving up for something specific, I'd highly recommend upgrading your different units. But again, thank you for EA for sponsoring the video. Link down in the description. That wraps it up to this one. Until next time, peace out.